Hello, lovelies. Welcome to Crystals and Coffee. Thank you for joining me. I'm back again following week, just like I said. I've even surprised myself because it's all been a bit up and down still. As much as things may slightly be going back to normal, things in my everyday life haven't changed all that much. Kids still home, husband still home, me still home, most places still shut, etc., etc. So there you go. Ordered the family face masks this morning. That's a new thing, a whole new wardrobe item to get on with there. Although I have to say, loving the one that I've chosen. I will share it on my social media when I get it. It's amazing. It's hot pink, so totally up my street. And I don't know if you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, but I am an avid fan. I think it's absolutely brilliant. So my face mask is bright pink and it says sachet away on the front of it. 6 feet please. So I saw that, didn't even hesitate, click the button, can't wait for it to arrive. I'll be sharing that with you. It was absolutely brilliant. So yeah, back to the actual job in hand, and we're talking about manifestation this week, mostly because it's something that in recent months it's been something I've really quite struggled with, because it's not as straightforward as it used to be, because I used to kind of have an outside plan of what I wanted to do and how that would happen and the steps I'd need to put in place to enable that to happen, and then the manifestation along with that helps boost all of that energy and all of that spirit quite high. I've just noticed actually that the sound went a bit funny looking at my computer screen. Now I will just explain in case it happens again. I am sat in my car again, but this time it is a really hot day, and so I have my windows open, and I think a breeze just went through and maybe that blew into the microphone, so I'm really sorry. I'm trying my best. I'm improvising at the moment. So yeah, but I did unplug the dash cam, so she won't be interrupting us today. So, you know, small victories. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Manifestation. So therefore, when we want to manifest, we think, yeah, this is what I want to achieve. This is where I want to go. This is my goal. This is what I'm working towards. And as much as we can still do that, of course we can. At the moment, we may not necessarily know how we're going to do it or how we're going to get there, because things aren't what they used to be. Things aren't as accessible as they used to be. We can't maybe go and do all the things we used to. We might have lots of other restrictions on working hours, childcare, just everything else, homeschooling, and everything else that we're trying to do at the same time at the moment. Think, well, if I want to try and manifest this, what's the knock-on effect going to be? Or if I want to manifest this and I put it out there into the universe, how am I going to keep up my side of the bargain? How am I going to, because, you know, manifesting isn't just about saying, oh, I want this to happen and then leave it up to the universe to do. We have to play our part as well. We have to keep our end of the bargain, and put the work in. And at the moment that can be really, really difficult. So it's something usually you can try and manifest certain things. Maybe now you might feel a bit blocked, a bit stuck, or not really knowing where to turn at all. And I'm right there with you. It's how I've been feeling as well. Particularly, again, you'll be familiar with me talking about wanting to move house. This is something that has really become quite the sticking point, especially now, because there ain't nobody wanting to walk into someone's house and view a house. Nobody is financially 100% financially secure, so would think, oh yeah, I'm going to apply for a mortgage, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and lenders are just as wary. So it's a real sticking point. But I've had to try and change my mindset, change my perspective, because regardless of all these obstacles right now, the end goal has not changed. Regardless of when it may happen, I'm going to say it in those words because I want it to be put out there that it is an intention. We are going to move. We will move. But the timeline has changed. and the method has definitely changed. It's not going to be a very traditional way of moving, of the sense that someone's going to come in, put in an offer, accept an offer, we'll go find a house, etc., and all the steps in between. I think it's going to be more likely now that we're going to have to be a bit more proactive. We're going to have to maybe find extra employment to enable us to, and I mean up where we want to move to, and then maybe we will need to move and rent before this house sells to get us up there, get us settled, and then let the house sell empty, which I think will be a bonus anyway. To leave it empty, I feel that it would sell quicker, for people to be able to see it as a blank canvas and not as somebody's home. I think that's always helpful. And then once that goes through, once we're already up there, we'll have a better idea of the area, where we want to live, schools, etc. I feel that maybe that is the best idea, rather than jumping in 2 feet first and buying up there not knowing the area very well at all. So overall, I think this whole experience over the last few months has probably taught me a lot of lessons. It's, again, like I said last week's episode, it's forced everybody to stop, and it forced me to stop, and not only on the wider issues but in my own life, to kind of review the decisions I'm making. Am I rushing into things? Are my goals still the same? And after some work and some intuition and tuning in, then yes, absolutely, it is still the same. That is what I want to happen. It's just going to have to happen in a different way, and therefore I can now see a path, an alternative path, that I hadn't put a lot of weight to before, because I thought, oh well, it would just be much easier the other way. But the world happened, and 2020 happened, and not the same anymore. So therefore I found alternative ways around it. And so from finding those alternative ways, I feel I can now put a little bit of manifestation in place. So if there is a goal that you had at the beginning of this year that you were so excited about, or you were geared up to, and it just got completely thrown into disarray with COVID-19, or during this quarantine period, this lockdown period, you may have done some reflections and perspective, and all of a sudden a new goal has come to you, and you want it to happen, but again, you don't know how, because we're still thinking, our mindsets are still in the place of pre-lockdown, pre-quarantine, pre-COVID-19. We're still thinking of the way the world worked then. And no matter how much quote unquote new normal or back to normality is pushed at us, it isn't going to be the same. We're not the same people that we were. I mean, I'm hoping that a lot of us have learned a lot from this and taken a lot from it. So therefore our thinking has probably changed, and so therefore we need to change the way we look at things and think, right, in this new landscape, in this new world, what is actually possible, what's not possible anymore, because we need to rule things out as well, and put together that alternate path, like I have done with my move. Think of that alternate path, and then you'll be able to think more about, okay, well, this is the alternate path, this is something I need to do, how can I do it, step by step by step. And that is where you find your new manifestations and your new affirmations. It's going to take a little bit of reflection. I know I bang on about this all the time, about reflection, but it's so important, and so essential when you're trying to figure out where you want to go from here, is to step outside of the situation and see what's happening. And right, even if the new paths seem completely wacky and unrealistic, still brainstorm them, still give them space, because you never know, on reflection, there I go again, you may look at it in a few days time and think, oh, actually that makes a lot of sense, maybe I could do that. Or you can look at it and think, nah, and just completely cross it out, right, no, it's not going to happen. But give it space. I don't think any of us are in a position to just say no or discount anything right now, because like I said, the world's changed. We don't know what's going to happen. So give every idea or every possibility space, think about it, reflect on it if you have to, or go with your gut, tune into your intuition and your gut feelings and see how it feels, which is again a really important part of the process once you're whittling things down, is how these situations make you feel. And my alternate path makes me feel really good, because it's, to me right now, it seems the most viable route of getting to my end goal, and my end goal is moving. And that seems like the only viable, feasible goal, and maybe even the quickest route to do it right now, with everything of how the world has changed and how everything's happening. So we can still manifest, we can still think about our goals. We just need to tweak the process a little bit, because everything has changed, and we know that we've got new personal commitments, we've got new personal constraints, new financial constraints, lots has changed. But that doesn't mean that your goal or what it is that you want has become impossible. It just may mean it might take longer, but you know what, if it's worth it, that doesn't matter. And you need to just keep plugging forward, step by step, baby steps. Lots of little teeny weeny manageable steps are much better than looking at one big step and going, oh my god, no, I can't, and then not starting at all, because that is what you'll look back on and regret. 100%, that's what will happen. So again, it's about getting that journal out, getting that notebook out, getting that whatever it is for you out. And maybe you do need to reevaluate. Maybe that you're trying too hard to go for a goal that isn't possible anymore in its current form, and it's stressing you out, or it's making you feel stuck, because that is exactly what was happening to me. And until I broke it down and thought of some alternative routes, it felt like this huge sticking point that just wasn't going to move. And I don't believe that to be true. The old saying, where there's a will, there's a way. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen. And if you want it bad enough, you'll make it happen. All of those cliche things, they're cliche for a reason, because they're true. And it is. It's not just, and just putting out there, oh, well, I still want it to happen, so I'm just going to wish really, 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 really hard. And I'm going to put my crystals in a grid, and I'm just going to wish really, 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 really hard. That's not enough. It's not enough. By all means, of course, do the crystal grid. Of course, speak out to the universe. Of course, do the affirmations and the rituals. I do them. But you have to do the work too. The universe is a support there for you. It opens doors for you if you're willing to walk through them and do the work. So it is all still there for you. It really is. It might not feel like it right now. A lot of terrible things have happened, and you may have been affected incredibly personally by the things that have happened in the last few months. But rest assured, you can still get yourself on track. You can, and it's about just having that resolve and that mindset. And if you have to reflect on bad experiences and it feels yucky, healing is yucky. But it's necessary. And if you need to get all of that out first before you can reevaluate, then that's also what you need to do. Maybe you might want to go through it with somebody close to you for a bit more of support, or just get it all out on paper, because you can't talk about it, and then see where you feel then if you want to talk to somebody about it. It's all very personal. I can't prescribe a exact way of doing it. It's different for everyone. You need to find what feels best for you, but it is, the bottom line is, it's about facing up to how you feel, what's making you feel that way, how do you want to feel, how you are going to be able to feel that way, and then plotting your path. And that's where the manifestation can come in. Once you have a focus, once you have something to affirm, once you have something set, then you can begin to manifest. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing now. Now I know the route that I need to take and the little steps that I can do each day, whether that be looking for properties, looking for employment opportunities for both me and my husband, starting to declutter my house, because either way I'm going to be moving, so I need to clear this crap out. All of those little things count, and make a statement to the universe that I'm doing the work and this is what I want to manifest. And I'm going to be using crystals to help me do that. There's the new moon coming up this weekend, so I'm going to be looking up a new moon ritual. When I find the one that I'm going to do, I will share that with you over on my Instagram most likely. I might even put it on Facebook as well. So that then there's 3 days of a full moon and a new moon. The day it actually happens and the day either side, the energy is still there. So if you see it on the new moon and think, damn, I'm too late, you can do it the following day. The energy is still around. So the new moon is all about being vibrant and positive and fresh new energy, going into a new cycle. Perfect time for some manifestation. So it's Friday morning now. This has gone out on Friday morning. So I'm going to be looking at doing a new moon ritual this weekend. So have a look at my IG, or if you're on Facebook, my Facebook. It's KB Crystal Coffee, and see what I'm going to be doing, and maybe take that as inspiration, or maybe that's a ritual that you'll want to do too, or maybe you already have one, or you want to Google new moon rituals, whichever you want to do. But it's a really opportune time in the next few days to use that energy as well to really give your manifestation some oomph. So I hope that's helpful, and it's not just me being rambling. I do kind of find myself thinking sometimes that I'm waffling on, but yeah, I hope it has been helpful and it's given you something to think about, because it was a thought process that I've had to go the last couple of weeks, and finally, after 3 months feeling so stuck, things are shifting, and I'm starting to see the wood for the trees, and I'm starting to see things unfolding in front of me, which is absolutely brilliant. And I really hope the same thing can happen for you as well. And like I say, we're back weekly, so I'll be back again next week to talk about more lovely crystals and coffee topics. So I think we'll probably carry on a little bit from what I've been saying about the quote-unquote new normal, which I know a lot of people do not like that saying. I don't particularly like it either, but it's best way I can sum it up right now. Is we'll be talking about how we're adjusting, and so kind of feeds on from what I've been talking about today. That'll be next Friday. And if you are a member of Crystals and Coffee over on Patreon, there is an exclusive episode which has just been released this morning of Crystals and Coffee. It's over there now, ready for you to listen to. If you're not a member and you want to know what on earth that's all about, there's a link in the description below. Or you can go to my website katiebatt.com and scroll down and click the join button, and it will bring you to a page explaining what membership means and the exclusive content that you'll get. There's exclusive podcast episodes and there's vlogs over there as well. So yeah, if you want to find out what that's all about, have a look. If you are already a Patreon, go on over there and listen to your brand new exclusive episode. So yeah, have a great week. Have a think about those things that I've said, and maybe do some new moon work for yourself as well this weekend. Summer solstice coming up, or winter solstice if you're in the southern hemisphere. But we've got a lot going on energy wise this weekend, and it would be okay, I'm sorry, but there's a military helicopter going over right now. I live, in flight terms, I live relatively close to a military base, so we have Chinooks and, well, lots of different helicopters fly very low over my house quite often. So I'm really sorry, but because I'm out in the car, that was really loud. Yeah, apologies for that. I'm hoping to be able to get back into my little recording space sooner than later, but we'll see. I've completely lost my train of thought of what I was saying, but yeah, have a think about how you're feeling right now. Embrace the energy this weekend from the solstices and from the new moons. It would be silly to waste, even if it just means doing some quiet meditation or reflection yourself. It doesn't have to be anything major. And yeah, take care, and I will speak to you next week, hopefully without more noisy interruptions, but we'll see what happens in the next week. Who knows? Take care, guys. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.